Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in FinTech Junction. And I know we're talking a lot today about FinTechs and payment, innovation, and startups, but Visa was actually the first FinTech in history where in 1958 we started issuing Visa credit cards to consumers. So since then, Visa has evolved and our payment network has grown significantly to a point where today we're connecting billions of cardholders every day. So every day, people are paying with a Visa card in different currencies, different states, anytime they want, anywhere they go. Visa's processing thousands of transactions per second on the Visa platform. So that was a bit of history and a bit of where we stand today. And if we look at the future, what is coming ahead of us, so we're looking at different trends that are influencing the payment ecosystem. So we're seeing the proliferation of digital and mobile payments, IoT devices, the impact of regulation on the payment ecosystem. So we touched on PSD2, the entrance of technology companies, challenger banks. So at Visa, really had to think how we can restretch the edges of the Visa network. So what we did is we've launched Visa Developer. So we reopened our network. So Visa Developer exposes Visa capabilities in payments, risk and fraud, data and analytics, loyalty to allow you, our stakeholders, to plug into our API products and embed them within your new seamless and secure payment proposition. So you can log into Visa Developer, start coding using our sandbox environments at a totally open platform. So to bring this to life with a few examples, so let's say a bank wants to provide a better service for their consumers while they're traveling abroad. So using our APIs, they can allow consumers to enable, disable international transaction. They can use Visa API for mobile location to match my mobile location from my phone to the merchant location, get enhanced data, and then be able to make better decision making and not decline my transactions when I'm traveling abroad. They can even allow me as a consumer to tell my bank, to my issuer, listen, I'm going to be in Greece in the last 2 weeks of July. Note that I'll be there and don't decline my transaction. So at the end of the day, we're getting less declines and better consumer experiences. If we want to provide consumers, and consumers are really keen on getting full, transparent view of the transaction, getting the feel that they're in control. So a bank can provide, using the Visa Controls API, the ability to allow consumers to manage their daily, their weekly, their monthly spend, block or unblock transactions for e-commerce, for ATM withdrawal. So think of a father who wants to now provide a digital card or token to their son, but provide the limits, or an SME that wants to provide those capabilities. They can use the Visa APIs for that purpose. And the last example is ability to manage our card on file payments. So our card on file is when we put our Visa card in different applications, whether it's my monthly fitness membership subscription, whether it's paying for my phone bills, paying for my TV services. So using the Visa Controls and Visa APIs, we can show consumers exactly what are they paying for. So again, giving them that full transparency and even the ability to stop some of those payment transactions. So Visa Developer Platform is an essential element in the way we innovate. We've also launched a very innovative platform called Visa ID Intelligence Platform. So Visa ID aggregates as a marketplace the best in breed of authentication service provider. So whether it's document authentication to provide eKYC, digital onboarding, instant issuance, biometrics such as facial recognition, fingerprint, user data, device data. So Visa integrates to these companies, and then through a single API, our stakeholders can use these services. We've already integrated one Israeli company to this platform, and if there are more Israeli companies that provide solutions in this space, please come and talk to us. So we have our Visa platforms, Visa innovation platforms, and then we have our global network of innovation centers in Singapore, in Dubai, in San Francisco, in London. And what we do in these centers is we bring our partners, we bring you, our clients, our retailers, startups, technology companies, come to work with us in the innovation centers on specific challenges. So they come with a problem statement, and we work with them with our team of experts, doing co-creation, design thinking, even rapid prototyping using Visa APIs at these innovation centers. And we're really excited that Tel Aviv is also now part of that global map of Innovation Hub. So we've launched Innovation Studio in Tel Aviv a few months ago. And the unique positioning of the hub in Tel Aviv is that we focus on engaging with startup companies, so trying to bring innovation to our stakeholders in the landscape by partnering with the startup companies in Israel. So how do we do that? We obviously focus on working with the startup companies, startups in different stages, whether it's a startup that now wants to issue Visa cards, so we call them an issuing fintech, or a non-issuing fintech, so a technology company where we see good synergies with Visa's offering. And then we're looking to partner with these companies, looking to invest in these companies as part of our global venture program, connect them to the platforms that I mentioned, so get them to use Visa Developer, get them onboarded to Visa ID Intelligence, to Visa Ready, and also work with other innovation centers. So for example, we've recently launched a retail experiment lab in Berlin, and we've connected 4 Israeli companies. So the top retailers in the world, essentially, that are visiting our lab in Berlin are exposed to these Israeli companies, so great exposure to our partners. Clients, so we work closely with clients. So Visa globally works with tens of thousands of financial institutions. So those clients who wants to come to Tel Aviv or want to engage with us, and you'll be surprised that there are more and more banks that are looking to programmatically engage with startup companies, so looking to create a differentiation in the value proposition, maybe resolve a specific challenge with a technology company capability. So we work with them in the studio, do matchmaking, and in some cases also do a kind of like a joint POC, a project between the bank, Visa, and the startup. And the third element is what we call our ecosystem partner, which I think can only happen here in Tel Aviv. We can take such an open and collaborative approach. So working closely with VCs, with other fintech hubs, accelerators, do joint meetups, which add great value to the ecosystem and the startups. So I couldn't resist in showing off in a couple of pictures of our new innovation studio in Tel Aviv, which was really designed to enable the collaborative and innovative approach that we're taking with the startups. We're also hosting startup companies in the studio, so we now have a couple of companies sitting with us in the space. So these will be companies that we're kicking off a POC project, or maybe an early stage startup that we see good synergies in the near future. So we'll come them and bring them to work with us, sit with us in the studio. In terms of technology themes that we're focused on, so I think security and authentication, I don't need to tell you that Israel is a hotbed in this space, so great potential from Visa's perspective to collaborating with companies that provide authentication and security services. B2B, I think, is an interesting one. So if we look at consumer payments, they've really evolved tremendously in the past 10 years, but in the B2B space, I think there's still great room for innovation. So we're looking to work with companies in B2B payments, point of sale credit, consumer credit. So if you live in Israel, then you know that installment payments are working very well in Israel, but outside Israel, there's still a lot of room for innovation, for bringing new capabilities, new ideas that we're looking to explore here in Israel. Transformation of the point of sale, so MPOS devices, new payment form factors. Transit, so we're working closely with our colleagues in London, where we've launched a global center of excellence for transportation. We already connected one company to the hub there. Next generation retail, so I think this year we've seen an uplift in retail tech. So there are more and more companies in Israel that are looking to reshape the kind of like future checkout experience, which is also known as an invisible payment, or kind of like a grab and go experience, where you just take something from the store and get out. So we're seeing different technologies that can be used for that, whether it's RFID, Bluetooth, cameras, really interesting companies in this space. And finally, IoT, and looking at more from kind of like a security perspective, so how we can find companies that will enhance the security of IoT payments. We've made a couple of really interesting announcements a few weeks ago as Visa in Europe in Money 2020. So the first one is a fast track program. So this is a program that was designed to better work with fintechs. So after a lot of changes, a lot of efforts internally, we're now really excited to say that we've reached to a program that can onboard issuing fintechs in as little as 4 weeks, which I know it sounds imaginary, but that's a real number. It really works. We're really excited about that program. We also have a team of experts of SMEs here in Tel Aviv and also in Europe that can help the fintechs to onboard and work with Visa in a seamless process. The second announcement, which I've got a lot of emails after we announced this, is a $100 million venture investment program in Europe, and that includes Israel as well, so really excited about the $100 million investment program. Before I wrap it up, we also wanted to announce today a Visa competition for startup companies called Visa Everywhere. Last year, we got really great results in this competition with 8 out of 15 companies in the finals being Israeli companies. 2 out of 3 winners were Israeli companies, so we're hoping to get similar results this year. We're focusing on 2 challenges, so it's pretty straightforward. One is looking at the payment experience of today, day-to-day payments. So what kind of innovation, what kind of technologies can enhance and reshape today's experience? And the other one is more kind of like forward-looking, so looking at what technologies can be significant in 2 to 3 years from now. So happy if you can apply to the competition. The winner of this competition, the finals will be held in Germany. The winner will receive a prize of 15,000 euros, and the deadline for the application is August 20th. If you have any questions on Visa Everywhere or any other topics that I've discussed today, please talk to me. Please do talk to Roy and Antonella from the team who is here today. Or you can also email us at innovationtlv@visa.com. So thank you and enjoy the rest of the conference.